Hello and welcome back. I'm Meg.
And I'm Mari.
And this is Spine and Ink.
Today we are going to be going through something a little fun. We are going to be going through 1-star Goodreads reviews that we found. They're either funny, savage. A couple of them are literally like 3 words. They're impeccable. And a little honorable mention at the end.
Yeah, so we did our own research on books that had great reviews, books that we enjoyed, and whatnot. So we hope you enjoy. If you love these books, we're so sorry. If you hate these books, you're in good company. So let's just hop right in. Why don't you start?
This is the one I'm currently reading. I am currently reading Consider Me by Becca Mack. So I was like, I'm going to go look at the 1 stars. So Maya says, 1 star, I'm tired, period.
Right.
That's it. She said,
Right.
I'm tired. You know, to each their own. I'm like halfway through the book. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm also reading it, and I'm loving every minute of it. It's
so
everything to
fun.
me. Okay, so if you know me, I've been talking a lot about Emily. I keep saying McIntyre, but I think it might be McIntyre. If you know, let me know in the comments. I would love to be corrected. But this is for Hooked. This review says, God blessed me with eyes, and I abused them. So,
Wow.
right. That book is good, but it's not her best, I will say.
Right.
But like, that's brutal. So there's that for you if you like that book. So sorry.
On to my next one. We talked about this one. I love Emily Henry. I will read anything she writes, and I will accept no criticism, but this is really funny. For Funny Story, Ashley Young's review says, too millennial for me.
Yeah, we were talking about Emily Henry being millennial literally yesterday.
And I was like, honestly, I can't even argue it. Oh man, it is true, but I don't care. I love it. Like, I love her books. But there are a couple of things in them where I'm like, oh, that's like, it's not as bad as like millennials on TikTok, but it's pretty bad. It's bad.
I thought that one was great. I could stick to the Funny Story because I have a couple for that one.
Oh, do you?
Okay. Yeah. Sticking with Funny Story, Mary Elizabeth says, if you created a drinking game out of every time she mentions a man smelling like ginger, your liver would leap out of your throat. I don't remember her saying that men smell like ginger.
I honestly, as soon as I did read that review, and I was like, I think Meg's gonna find this one.
I did.
You did. After reading that, I was like, damn, that's really true. But I don't care. I loved it.
I like literally don't remember that at all.
It's mentioned a lot.
There's that. I could read you another one about Funny Story. Nico Penny's review. Funny Story, reading this made me suicidal. I said, whoa.
That's vicious.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, if you don't like a book, you don't like a book. But like, wow.
Whoa. So, Nico Penny, I hope that you're okay. I hope you're doing all right.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are mine for Funny Story.
Next one, a book we love. For Fourth Wing, honestly, Sophie said, Zayden wears skinny jeans.
Oh no, that's so true. Oh no, that's really true.
I said, shit.
Darn it.
I put that out of my mind. Like, it's definitely mentioned. His outfits are described. I
don't think he actually like wears skinny jeans.
No, but there was something about like, there's somewhere in it, one of his outfits, like his leathers or something, are like skinny jeans. Like, it's like described that way. No. I think I just put that out of my mind. I just refuse to imagine it that way.
Yeah. I actually don't ever imagine like the legs of any people.
Like,
I know they're tall. I can never imagine their legs. Is that weird?
No, I see from here up. We're having like, it's always dialogue, so I'm just like, I don't think about it either, but if I ever did, if there was like a combat scene or something that I'm like having to imagine, I never imagined like skinny pants.
Yeah, the movie in my mind is like never the movie in my mind. Shout out Even of Lazada. Yeah, the movie in my head never, it's always just like close-ups of their faces.
Yeah.
Ew, that gives me the ick, actually.
Yeah, I was like...
That's such a bummer. So on to The Cruel Prince. A lot of people love this series. I felt very medium about it, but I felt like this review was really funny. I can't say this person's, their profile name.
It's literally ESS with a little lightning strike.
Yeah, so sorry. I don't know, but shout out to you. And she says, should have stopped reading at the mention of his tail. And honestly, yeah, I get it.
Tail? Oh no! So you just convinced me not to read that book.
He has a tail, and it's crazy. He's a 10, but he has a tail. That Barnes and Noble posted, they had their like, they're a 10 wall, but you know, whatever. And it was like all these romance books, and that was one of them. They were like, he's a 10, but he has a tail. And this is not a spoiler, like, it happens very early on in the book that you hear about all this.
I don't think I'm gonna read it, because I've only heard very like mediocre or very bad things. Unfortunately, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry if you love that book.
The tail thing was crazy.
That deters me.
The tail thing was crazy, so there you go.
Keeping with the theme here, now on to Iron Flame. Same person. She's funny. Iron Flame. Honestly, Sophie said, Violet somehow had time to shave her coochie while at war.
I always wonder about that in romantasy books, though. Like, do they probably be stankin'.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, you're probably disgusting.
They be so smelly.
Like birchwood and like evergreens and like cinnamon. And I'm like,
does he? Does he really?
He hasn't showered in 200 years because he's like 500 years old, right?
Well, I mean,
they're like at war.
Yeah. Yeah, they do like bathe a lot, but
that's true. But like still like
not enough for it to.
Well, like they do when they're in their fancy palaces and everything, but then when they're like out there at war and they're walking around in like the fairy woods for like 3 weeks at a time.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And then they be fucking in the woods, and I'm like, you stink.
Yeah.
That's not sexy.
So they bathe all the time in fantasy books. They never brush their teeth, though.
No, I think about that all the time.
They never talk about brushing their teeth.
Do you guys ever think about, like, way long ago, before, like, brushing your teeth was a thing?
They had rotted
teeth.
Like,
looking off into the distance.
They had rotted teeth, man. They did. Oh. Like if you read the history books, their teeth be rotten.
I know.
It's like a whole thing in like British.
The smell.
I know.
So that one was funny though.
Hey. Anyways.
Yeah, I think about that far too often when I'm reading fantasy. I'm like, y'all are gross. Like, wait a minute. Let's think about this.
Yeah, they're super nasty.
She's not wrong. Girl, let it slide.
I'm honestly shocked that she rated the first book 1 star and then continued and read the second book and then also rated it 1 star.
That was my
Do you think she read the third book?
That's what I'm going to do some digging if she did anything.
Could you just click on her profile?
Yeah.
Oh, she did read Onyx Storm.
And she rated it 1 star.
No.
No.
Okay, so update.
After some digging, because I was like, this girl had to have read the third, right?
We can't read this to you. Yeah. It's a spoiler, so look it up.
Do some digging through the 1-star reviews of Onyx Storm.
Oh my
god! Not reading that one on the pod, but it's so good.
That's
go
really
look
brutal.
Through the Onyx Storm
1-star reviews. If you've read it, you don't want to like get spoilers, but
if you've read it, oh my god, that's funny.
And with that, let's move on to this one is for Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey, which I really liked that book a lot, and I didn't read the first one, because
Yeah.
there's two. I didn't read the first one yet.
The second one's a lot better, but the first one's fun.
Yeah,
It's good.
but I did like the second one a lot. But Martha says, forced to read essentially at gunpoint. Next time, I will simply choose the gun. Right? That's so sad. That's such a good book.
Wow.
Girl, why were you reading this at gunpoint? Who had a gun to your head?
I would love to know.
That reminds me of Brittany Broski, where she goes, and then I had a gun. And then I had a gun.
Molly Percocet.
Did you see the TikTok
Jason
of the girl that
never
said that her
choose
favorite, her teacher asked her what her favorite podcast was, and she said Brittany Broski, the Broski Report.
Right.
And her teacher like turned on the latest episode.
Yes, I saw
and
that
the
TikTok.
latest episode was her opera singing. What is that song even called?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, anyways,
I know
so
the song, I just don't know what it's called, but I've heard it.
yeah,
many times.
I love Brittany Broski.
I do too.
If there's one thing you need to know about me, I have watched every single episode of the Broski Report,
As you
and
should.
a lot of them I've listened to or watched multiple times.
As you should.
So I'm fully obsessed with her.
Okay, so again, Emily Henry. For Happy Place, Abby said, not my happy place.
No. No. Okay, that was not Emily Henry's best, I will say.
No, it wasn't, but I still
But-
enjoyed it. She said, not my happy place.
Not my happy place. You know, girl, I get it.
I said, right.
We've been there. Okay, let's go to A Court of Thorns and Roses. Aileen, 1-star review, said, I'm a second away from dousing myself in gasoline and lighting myself on fire just so I never have to look at this book again.
What did that book ever do to you?
I know, what did she do to you?
Like,
My favorite memes are the ones of Feyre. Okay, wait, spoiler coming up. Spoiler.
ACOTAR spoiler warning.
ACOTAR spoiler warning. When she goes to the cabin and Feyre like paints the whole cabin, and there's all these memes that she just did like stick figures on the wall, and it's recent. He's like, oh no.
Did you see that one? It was like AI.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like stick figures
Stick
with like
figures all over the walls, and
just
the eyes
black
over the
eyes.
doorway. That were just like, they were just people.
I can't picture it like that. It makes me so upset. Yeah. So
Unfortunately, that's kind of how I pictured it when I first read it.
it's not
like,
how I
where did
pictured.
this bitch learn to paint? She's like,
She's just talented, and it was the only outlet that she had.
I just imagine
Feyre,
him walking in and going,
Feyre
like,
is
tears in his eyes, and he goes, this is beautiful.
yeah. Feyre is a little bit whiny, but
A little bit.
I will
Sorry.
stand with her till I die. I don't
Sorry.
know. She's just that's my girl. Anyways, so
Valid.
there's that one.
This next one is for the silent patient. Boris's review.
The same one.
For the silent patient, not silent enough.
Yeah, that's good.
That one made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, people are funny, man. People are
funny.
really funny.
But like Goodreads reviews radiate the same vibes as like TikTok comments.
Yeah,
And I love it.
I understand. Actually, I did. I really liked that book. That was one of the first.
I haven't read it, but I just thought that review was really funny.
That was one of the first like true thrillers that I ever read. It was pretty good.
I'm going to read it.
Pretty good. It was pretty
Everyone
good.
loves it, so I'm like, I need to just read
Yeah, you would
it. I
like
say
it.
that like 50 times during every episode where I'm like, I need to read that. I know, I need to sit down and read
The
it.
TBR is never ending, and that is
No.
okay. It's not supposed to ever end. If the TBR ever ended, what's the point of living?
True. Okay, so anytime I think too hard about this, it freaks me out. I will never finish my TBR. Like, I'm going to die, and there are still going to be books that I wanted to read that I never got to. That's
Yeah.
terrifying. Like, that's a horrifying thought. Do you ever think about that? And you just get, like, this immense, like, heavy feeling of dread?
No.
Okay.
Girl, I think that's anxiety. So, This Is You Again by Kate Goldbeck. I am 98% sure after reading like reviews and stuff after I read it that this is a Kylo Ren, Adam Driver type of, well, Adam Driver because he is Kylo Ren, Adam Driver fan fiction type of deal.
So many books are. We talked about that at the bookstore where you like look at every cover and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like so many of them are.
But it's also heavily based off of When Harry Met Sally, and that is my favorite movie ever. So I loved this book. Kat, not so much. 1-star review, she says, the cover is giving fall and the inside is giving fall off a cliff voluntarily because these characters are insufferable.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah. She DNF'd it at 6%.
Oh.
So,
Girl.
I mean, I get it. If you're not enjoying it, you don't have to finish a book.
Get at least like 100 pages in. Wow.
It's totally okay to not finish a book. DNFing is totally fine.
Yeah.
But
like I said, life is too short.
Yeah.
If you don't want to read it, don't read it and go read something you do want to read.
Yeah.
But like, give it more than 6%. In my opinion.
Yeah, teach their own, I guess.
I guess.
On to you.
Okay. My next one is For Archer's Voice, which, like, to me was fine. That book was fine. Abby, though, felt negatively. And I kind of agree with what she said. She said, the way this was written reminds me of a child trying to tell a story, but they keep repeating themselves.
You know when have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Kind of true though. Like it's kind of really accurate where I'm like, yeah, that's what it's giving.
Yeah.
So I can't even argue it, but that was really funny to me. So I was like,
that's brutal.
That's really brutal.
My next one is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I loved this book when I read it a bunch of years ago, but I was obsessed. Alan says, a friend recommended I read it. I read it. We're no longer friends. So, yikes. We would not be friends. Sorry, Alan.
Wow.
We would not be friends.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Alan, what did they ever do to you?
Yeah, Alan, what happened to you?
What happened? Something else was going on there between you two if that ended your friendship.
It is YA, and so there are moments that, you know...
It feels very YA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, the way the genre is. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really great. So, sorry, Alan. Wish you had a better time, King.
This next one, I really loved this book. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
I love Christina Lauren. I think they're awesome. But Jay did not agree. Jay said, when I die, I want Christina Lauren to lower me into my grave so they can let me down one last time.
Oh my god.
That one had me rolling on the floor. I loved that book. I mean, I haven't read it in a long
Christina
time,
Lauren.
I love Christina Lauren. I said, oh my god.
That's pretty good, though. People are so clever.
People are so clever. Like, where do y'all get it?
I want to be funny.
Literally, I want to be funny. Like, where do you get it? Who sold it to you? I would love to know.
Well, that's so sad. Christina,
brutal?
yeah.
I love Christina
I
Lauren.
really hope that authors don't actually read their 1-star reviews.
God,
Some
I
of them
hope
are so
not.
funny,
Some
and
are
I'm
really
sure
funny.
that they probably can laugh about it as well, but
Right.
if I was them, I'd be so sad.
God,
I could not handle that kind of criticism
No.
all the time.
No.
I'm not strong enough for that.
Me.
This is my last one.
Okay.
This was a book that was life-changing for me. I think about this book all the freaking time. And it's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Gabrielle Zevin. That was like 5 stars for me. Absolutely loved it. Persephone, though, she said, I've read better fan fiction on Wattpad than this. That made me sad.
But you gotta give it to Persephone.
Yeah, some fan fictions
magical.
are really awesome.
Electric, some would say. Wow.
Electric, incredible, brain chemistry altering, like. So I get it.
If they say, like, in the bottom of one of their chapters, they're like, guys, my uncle's friend's son was in a car accident. I need to take some time off writing. And then, like, the rest of it is finished. You know it's going to cook. Like, you know it's going to be so good.
Yeah.
Or in the very beginning, they're like, my first language isn't English. Like, please bear with me. It's some of the most, like, eloquent writing you've ever read in your entire life. So, like, Persephone's got a point. But I also haven't read that book, so.
It's so good.
I think that's the wrong book to say that on. There are some books that I would agree.
It is so good. So good.
I have quite a few. So this is one that's just, for the time, I felt it was necessary to bring one in here for It Ends With Us. First of all, whose review is this? Hina, I believe. Hina. I hope that's how you pronounce it. She said, when Lily Blossom Bloom named her daughter after Dory, the fish, I knew I could not trust Book Talk ever again. Also, imagine having so much power that you can literally call your character Lily Blossom Bloom and nobody fucking stops you. I want that much power.
Right.
Yeah. Because we were all thinking it. But
Colleen Hoover has the most unhinged shit in her books.
For real.
I don't know how she got away with it for so long. Sorry.
I will never get it. I will never understand.
If you like Colleen Hoover, totally get it. I loved Verity.
You do you. Oh, yeah. Verity was great.
But I'll be a hater till the day I die. If she has no haters, I'm dead. So, you know, that's how I feel.
Period. I also have 2 for The Love Hypothesis, which I love that book. I love that book so much. And another one that's like 10,000% Kylo Ren / Adam Driver fanfiction. Like 1,000%. The first one says, IDK what kind of drugs y'all are on, but I evidently did not receive my portion.
Bummer.
The next one. Do I want to read this on the pod? I don't know, but it made me laugh.
Yeah.
So the next one is Ellen Christophe Johansson, also for The Love Hypothesis. Said, he had her whole boob in his mouth. I'm scared.
I'm also scared. You know?
Terrifying.
I'm also scared.
I
don't
quake
remember
it in my boots.
I don't remember that.
I did not remember that, but then I read that review and I said, oh.
That's so funny.
And then this last one is a 3-star review, but an honorable mention that I hope many of you have read or heard before. For A Court of Thorns and Roses, this is like my favorite Goodreads review ever. It went wildly viral, and I feel like it just needs to be read. So, without further ado, Allie said, an illiterate 19-year-old straight up kills a guy and is outraged when there are consequences. Her punishment is living in a mansion with a hot mare and hanging out with his friend, the nicest guy in the world and the only character I care about in this series. This is a tragic turn of events for Feyre as it separates her from her life as an indentured servant to her shitty family. Who's going to take care of her deadbeat dad, her personality-proof younger sister, and Nesta, Satan's apprentice? One day a generically handsome man appears and all of Book Talk developed a bat fetish overnight. Some stuff happens as Feyre ends up in the Triwizard Tournament from Hell where she has to outsmart a worm. Feyre struggles but eventually triumphs due to severe interference from outside sources. This goes on for 5 books. The fan base for this series is the size of a large-ish army, and if you say something negative about Cassian, they will hunt you down and ruin your life. And honestly, good for them. I love that review. I think it's so funny. I love it so much. So, shout out to Allie, because you're really funny. But this is fun. I feel like we should do this again.
Yeah, I think we definitely will do this again. I definitely also would like to do the opposite and see if there's some really funny, great reviews for books that I didn't necessarily love to see if they'd like change my opinion.
Yeah.
Because even though these are a lot of books that I really loved, I don't disagree with people's like qualms, you know? Yeah. I totally get it.
I disagree when you say you're gonna like pour gasoline on yourself and like light yourself on fire. Or like
maybe don't do that.
You suicidal. Kind of disagree with those ones.
Yeah, maybe seek help. But that was fun. Yeah.
It was very fun. I enjoyed that a lot. So I feel like we might do this more often.
All right, and with that, that's all we have for you this week.
Yeah.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, share the pod, give us 5 stars
Please,
on Spotify.
And thank you.
Please, please, please. Next week, we are reviewing Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. We will be discussing, reviewing, giving our thoughts, little book club moment. So if you have time in the next week and you haven't read it yet, give it a read. And if you have already read it, then be ready for next week. We'll be talking about it. And then we'll have more for you down the road, but can't tell you quite yet.
Cannot tell you, but we have some very, very exciting things.
Yes, very exciting things. So have a wonderful week.
We love you.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.